Hey YouTube, Steve here from Vegas Westside Shooters, and this is part 2 of my video on does it make sense to reload, especially from a beginner's perspective. So in part 1 we talked about the economics of reloading, and for me it definitely makes sense to reload based on economics. The larger cartridges like 44 Magnum, 44 Special, 45 Long Colt. And it also makes sense for me for 38 Super because I can't find the proper type of ammo. And I've even started now just some experimentation with 9mm loads that I want to use in IDPA competition. So I'm trying to come up with some minimal recoil loads to help with my accuracy. But as far as the smaller pistol calibers for routine shooting, like 40 Smith & Wesson 45 auto and 9mm. Right now it doesn't make sense for me economically to do those because I don't save enough money to make it worth the time investment. Later on, if I get a progressive press and I shoot a lot more, it might turn around and make sense. But for right now, economically, really the big cartridges. So now in part 2 of the video, does it make sense from a quality standpoint? Am I getting decent loads and decent accuracy while saving money? So on this part, what we're going to do is we're going to take out our hand loads to the range and shoot them against some factory loads and see how that goes. So first we're going to use the Smith & Wesson 629 44 Magnum revolver, but I'm going to be shooting my 44 Special loads out of it. This is the cast lead 44 Special 200 grain bullet using 7.2 grains of unique powder, and I'm going to match that up against the HSM Cowboy 44 Special 200 grain round nose flat point lead. So these are about as similar as I can come up with to give it a whirl. And then on the 45 Colt, I'm going to use the excuse me, I'm going to use the Smith & Wesson Governor, and I'm going to shoot 2 different hand loads. The first is a cast lead 250 grain flat nose bullet over 7 grains of unique powder, and the other load is a jacketed hollow point, also 240 grain with 8.7 grains of power pistol powder. So we're going to take these out tomorrow if the weather cooperates, and we're going to shoot them through the chronometer, check the muzzle velocity against the factory arms core loads, and on this case the factory HSM loads, and we're going to do some accuracy testing, and we'll see how that goes. So hopefully you stick with us. Steve from Vegas Westside Shooters, we'll see you at the range. Okay, first up I'm going to be shooting the 45 Colt 3 hand loads and then 3 factory loads through the chronometer. The Smith & Wesson Governor. Okay, range is hot. .812.
Feel free to move. You can move any of that stuff and knock it out of your way or whatever.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
.770. 782. Now the factory loads. 763, 771, and 764. All right, now the 44 Special. First up, the hand loads. 1,002, 1,010, 1,036. Now the factory loads: 840, 843, and 836. Wow, I loaded those a little hotter than I thought. All right, on to accuracy. Okay, for accuracy, first up we're going to do the 44 special. The hand loads on the left and the factory on the right. Top targets, and then the bottom targets will be 45 Colt. Hand loads on the left, factory on the right. Range is hot. All right, factory on the right. Okay, 45 Colt, hand loads on the left. 7 yards, off hand. Oh, man. All right, let's zoom in and I'll show you what I did here. Actually, we'll just move up to the target. All right, so with the 44 special, with the large Smith & Wesson 629, my factory loads had a really nice group there. Excuse me, my hand loads. The factory load was a little bit less accurate for me. With the 45 Colt, with my hand loads, I had one okay shot, one pretty good shot, but I had a flyer that was user error. I didn't have a good grip on the gun, and this small Smith & Wesson Governor with the 45 Colt, it's a handful to hold on to. And then these three are the factory loads. So I would say on the 44 special, I think my hand loads beat the factory loads and had a significantly better energy. And I think with the 45 Colt, maybe I loaded those hand loads a little too hot, but I had one flyer for sure, and the factory loads were pretty good. So there you have it.
All right, I'm back from the range, and you saw shooting the 44 special factory and hand loads, and the 45 long Colt factory and hand loads. Basically, with the 44 special, it looks like I loaded it a little bit hot, even though I tried to stay towards the bottom of the recommended powder volume. It came out about 1,000 feet per second, which was over 200 feet a second faster than some of the factory stuff. But the accuracy of the 44 special hand loads exceeded the factory accuracy, at least in my hands. In the 45 Colt, the energies were roughly the same, and the accuracy I thought was pretty similar. I did have the one flyer, but I absolutely jerked the trigger on that one, and so that was operator error. That had nothing to do with the hand load or the gun itself. The other two were a pretty tight group, and the three that I shot from the factory were a pretty tight group. So the answer to the question of does it make sense to reload volume 2 is from an accuracy and a power perspective. The answer is yes. These hand loads were easily the equal, if not superior, to the factory loads, and they cost me roughly half as much. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. As always, this is Steve from Vegas Westside Shooters. Catch you next time, YouTube.